he embodies Batman the animated series, the Batman that I grew up, that I knew. That is who he channels.
So there's a recent take that a lot of people have had that say that that Christopher Nolan's movies are good movies, but they're not good Batman stories. The Riddler is absolutely the worst part of the movie. That's not the Riddler. That's some other character.
Right now, he just looks like he's doing James Gunn movies, James Gunn Superman, James Gunn.
I like the Batman production design.
Okay.
I can respect it. I think that it is a vigilante film masquerading as a Batman movie. And
Isn't Batman a vigilante?
He is, but so there's a recent take that a lot of people have had that say that that Christopher Nolan's movies are good movies, but they're not good Batman stories.
I've heard that.
I fundamentally disagree with that because I think Christopher Nolan understands the essence of what makes Batman a hero. Part of the reason
he just cast the wrong person as Batman.
Yeah, and I actually like Christian Bale's Batman because we have a good Bruce Wayne. I actually think I think he's a very good Bruce Wayne. Yeah. We just don't have enough time with him. But like when you see him, everybody, like if you watch the background of the scenes, people scoffing at this guy, like, oh God, it's Bruce Wayne. Heck, even Commissioner Gordon's like, Bruce Wayne, like when he sees him in the Dark Knight with the and stuff. So like there's something there, but like part of the reason the Dark Knight works is not because of how good Heath Ledger's Joker is. It's the foil. It's the juxtaposition to Batman and how they play off each other. That's why it works. Yes. There's this like violent, angry man trying to like punish people with his fists for the wrongdoing done to him as a child. And then you have this chaotic being that just laughs at him as he punches him. He goes, it doesn't matter how hard you hit me. Yes. I think this is all hilarious. So you jump from that to the Batman. I think the opening scene with him walking into the room surrounded by the police officers and everybody's like, who's this freak in this costume? Yeah. Beautiful. I think there's a scene that opening sequence, he walks through the room. There's a moment where he just like starts looking at things in the room and the cops like look over and they like see something and they're like, they all go running over there. Like, oh, there's a blood fleck over here that we didn't see. And he's like surveying the room, world's greatest detective. Yeah. And then the movie very quickly becomes how do we elevate the Batman beyond just being a guy that's a really good detective? And I think that's where it goes wrong. Okay. There are moments in the movie. I don't like how bulletproof Batman is in the film.
I get
he
that.
tanks. Part of the thing that works with Bale's Batman is that he could die at any moment. I never have that concern with Pattinson's Batman. If you rewatch even his Batmobile, you go, oh, this thing can go through anything. It could blow through concrete. There's no worry about it. Whereas with Bale's Batman, even though he has a literal tank, it gets destroyed. Yeah. And you go, what is he going to do about this? And then you get the Bat Pod. You can see he has contingencies, but he's constantly on his back foot. That's what makes Batman work really well. The Riddler is absolutely the worst part of the movie. That's not the Riddler. That's some other character. He's like a weird amalgamation of like Hush and the Joker and the Riddler and kind of things like that. But part of what makes the Riddler work is that he's like a narcissist who thinks he's smarter than everybody. And then Batman's like, no, I'm actually smarter than you. And he's like, no, you're not. Batman, because people don't realize Batman has an ego too. He doesn't like being challenged like that. So they constantly are going back and forth trying to be smarter than each other. And it's frustrating to the Riddler. That's not what happens in this movie at all. And I think that there's also an undercurrent in this film that, once again, movie snob me. There's an undercurrent of like a lot of social justice, modern talking points about privilege. And part of the thing with the whole, I didn't know what a carpet tucker was, is because he's a rich white guy. And so why would he know what an item of manual labor is, which to me is fundamentally not Batman. Right. Because Bale's Batman, remember, is told you don't even understand what desperation looks like. So he went and became a poor homeless guy for years to figure out what was going on in the head of criminals. Whereas this Pattinson, he's constantly told by everybody around him, you don't understand what it's like to be a criminal. You don't understand what it's like to be desperate and poor. And you're just a rich guy doing things. And a lot of that kind of stuff just didn't hit with me. I didn't like that. I will admit the production design is very well done. But the production design is also a very modern thing, because if you look at that compared to Nolan's films, you can see a lot of influence of Christopher Nolan's movies
definitely
on the Batman, just with a different color grading. And that, when I saw that, I was like, because I really wanted this movie to have its own identity, completely different and distinct from Christopher Nolan's, and we didn't get that. We get another grounded, gritty reboot of Batman. So
I think if we did the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, I think if they take that, except for what was the third one, the Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, we can kind of scrap that one. But if we took that one and instead of Christian Bale, we had Ben Affleck the entire time, I think those movies would have been perfect, because Ben Affleck, it is I think he does one of the best current versions of delivering Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
He embodies Batman the animated series, the Batman that I grew up, that I knew. That is who he channels in there. Yeah. And I was like, that was hands down, that was great for me.
Yeah.
But aside from Michael Keaton and all those other ones, like I said, current ones. Yeah. And if we have been able to do that and then kind of just go right into the the BVS and the other ones and the Justice League and all that kind of stuff, it would have given us a little bit more. I'm interested to see what James Gunn does with his current run for DC. I am worried as I don't know what, because right now he just looks like he's doing James Gunn movies, James Gunn Superman, James Gunn. And he's, my gosh, if that ego on that guy, I'm like, I can't even look to enjoy a Superman movie because I'm just going to get flooded with James Gunn. And I don't like James Gunn that much to want to watch that type of movie. I'm just like, nah, it's too James Gunn for him. But we'll see. We'll see what this side of summer looks like.